Hello, I'm Doctor Hilary Jones, and I'm pleased to say that I'll be working with your co-op pharmacy to help and support with lots of healthcare matters that might crop up. Here we are in the middle of July, and people are asking more and more, what's the advice that I would give about wearing masks during this COVID-19 pandemic? And there's a great deal of confusion. So many of the guidelines have issues with how they are implemented. But my advice would simply be this, that when we are in a public indoor space, particularly, and we can't be guaranteed of social distancing, it makes sense with the current medical evidence to wear a face covering or a mask of some kind. Now, face coverings can have their problems in that the cloth can have gaps and holes which are too big and the virus can easily pass through. They may only have one layer, they may be elasticated, so they're not ideal. But if you purchase a good mask, there's evidence which is strong that it can protect other people from someone who's got COVID-19 and could be expelling the virus in droplets when they speak and when they breathe. There is some evidence, not as strong, but it can protect other people who haven't got COVID-19 from the droplets in the air. So it makes sense for both sets of people to be wearing a mask, for everybody effectively to wear a mask where they can't socially distance, and if they're not in a pub or restaurant eating or drinking. I think the more people that do this, the more it will become socially acceptable and less socially acceptable not to wear a mask. And it will be considered less courteous and poorer manners not to be wearing a mask. This pandemic is serious. This virus kills people. It's highly transmissible. It's highly virulent. So if you are purchasing a mask, and many people are, you can get these on the Co-op Pharmacy website. And I would say that there's a big trend now to buy reusable masks. Environmentally, it makes much more sense. If you can buy a reusable mask, which you can wash and use again and again, then you're not contaminating the environment with lots of tissue masks, which people are throwing, and they're getting into the sea, and they're getting into the sewage, and they're getting into the streets. Reusable masks make absolute sense. They're of high quality and they're reliable. They can be rewashed and used several times. That would be my advice. And whilst we are in the middle of this pandemic, which is currently getting worse globally, wearing masks wherever you're in an indoor space with other people who you don't necessarily know and where you can't completely socially distance, it makes sense to be wearing a mask.